걔 교통사고로 죽다 살아났잖아.
난 지금 내세울 거 하나 없는데 아무 쓸모도 볼품도 없는 그냥 나.
Amidst the glitz and glamour of Seoul, there are two twin sisters whose lives are headed in very different directions. Our Unwritten Seoul brings us to the story of mi-ji and Yumire, two faces that look the same, but their worlds feel foreign to each other. Welcome to the Racker. Without further ado, here is a recap of the first and second episodes of our Unwritten Seoul. The story opens with Mi-ji's nostalgic narration about the birth of her and her twin sister Mi-rae. Mi-ji was supposed to be the eldest, given the name Mi-rae, which means future, but a complicated delivery caused a change. Mi-ji was not born first, and the name Mi-rae that she had been aiming for, she had to give up. Mi-ji was given the name Sisa, which means unknown. As children, the two twins looked identical, so identical that even their mother often confused them. Only their late father and grandmother could consistently tell them apart. After their father's death, they began changing identities to cover up their weaknesses. Mi-rae was born sick and had to go to the hospital frequently, but was academically brilliant. Mi-ji, on the other hand, was healthy but not particularly bright. Mi-ji often took Mi-rae's place for medical appointments and physical tests at school, while Mi-rae took Mi-ji's place for various academic exams. This deception continued until a medical examination exposed the lie, prompting the family to cut Mi-ji's hair short for the sake of clarity. As they grew older, their personalities changed drastically. Mi-rae became an honor student and joined a prestigious company. Meanwhile, Mi-ji excelled as an athlete until an injury ended her career. Now in her 30s, Mi-ji works part-time as a janitor, living a seemingly peaceful but restless life as she is always in the shadow of her successful sister. Despite her uncertain path in life, Mi-ji remains upbeat and optimistic. She quits her job at school and considers working on a local strawberry farm. He sends a meager resume, but the locals vouch for his physical prowess, which catches the eye of Han Se-jin, an underdog orchard owner who was ridiculed for only producing 3 boxes of strawberries last season. Meanwhile, we're introduced to Lee Ho-soo, the twins' former neighbor and Mi-ji's childhood nemesis. Now a brilliant lawyer, Ho-soo uses his lip-reading abilities to gain an edge in court. Acquiring his lip-reading abilities to cover up his weakness, Ho-soo was in a serious car accident that left the left side of his body paralyzed and left him with hearing loss in his left ear. During a visit to his hometown, he meets Mi-ji while she's delivering food from her mother for him. Flashbacks reveal their first meeting as children. She bluntly asked if he was deaf, and he never spoke to her. He was a top student at the time and was rumored to have been dating Mi-rae. In the present, Ho-soo asks Mi-ji about Mi-rae, but she seems annoyed. Everyone, including him, seems to only care about his sister. At home, Mi-ji continues to care for their ailing grandmother, who has suffered a stroke. She calls Mi-rae, urging her to visit, but Mi-rae, cold and detached at work, shows no interest. Mi-ji takes out her frustrations on their mother, unaware that Mi-rae has been secretly supporting the household finances, including her grandmother's hospital bills. Mi-ji later encounters Ho-soo again while playing with a battered ball. In a flashback, we learn that Mi-ji only learned of Ho-soo's condition through Mi-rae, long after her indiscreet childhood comment. Back in the present, Mi-ji buys Ho-soo an ice pack, and he finally explains his condition. He then encourages Mi-ji to talk to her sister. She is the only one, he says, who can truly reach Mi-rae. Mi-ji brings the side dishes to Seoul and meets Mi-rae at a cafe. There, Mi-rae makes a dark joke about jumping out of a third-story window to escape work. Mi-ji brushes it off as a joke, but when she returns from the restroom, Mi-rae has disappeared. Running quickly to her sister's apartment, Mi-ji finds her on the balcony, about to jump. Mi-ji grabs her, and the two fall but escape with minor injuries. A series of flashbacks reveal Mi-rae's struggles. After trying to stand up for a senior colleague who was being bullied, Mi-rae was the target of harassment at her next workplace. The senior quit, and Mi-rae was left isolated and desperate. Later, at the hospital, Mi-rae breaks down in front of Mi-ji. Although Mi-rae tells her to go home afterward, Mi-ji, true to her name and nature, acts unpredictably. In flashbacks, we see her once stepping in to defend Hosu from bullies. Inspired by the same instinct, she returns to Mi-rae and proposes a life swap, just as they used to do as children. The next morning, Mi-ji sews her hair to match Mi-rae's and memorizes everything in Mi-rae's manual: how she walks, talks, and works. In return, Mi-rae cuts her hair and heads to the countryside to fill in for Mi-ji at a strawberry farm. There, Han Se-jin surprises her by not giving her any assignments. Frustrated, Mi-ji, unaware of the details, is doused in dirty water and salt by the owner. She places the contract on the table and asks him to review it respectfully. Meanwhile, Lee Ho-suk, now revealed to be the external investigator for the whistleblower case involving Mi-rae, notices strange behavior in Mi-rae and becomes suspicious. He questions her again and apologizes, revealing that his boss knew about his relationship with Mi-rae and tasked him with stopping the case immediately. Hosu now feels partly responsible for the injustice, and the encounter reawakens the part of him that hates seeing wrongdoings go unpunished. As the episode comes to a close, she leaves the farming plans to Han Se-jin, indicating that she is slowly accepting her new role. At the same time, the restaurant owner capturing the warmth of Mi-ji and the seemingly calm yet fearful Mi-rae. The writing delicately balances humor, trauma, and developments to come, with Lee Ho-suk caught between the sisters and the mysterious Se-jin bonding with Mi-rae. The drama teases romance, healing, and maybe even justice as it unfolds. As Mi-ji tries to navigate Mi-rae's world, and Mi-rae tastes a freedom she's never had, we begin to realize that their swap is more than just an experiment. It's a journey in a city that keeps moving forward without looking back. And when Lee Ho-suk finally asks, but perhaps, that is the beginning of something much bigger.
متوسلي هرقصيني